This map, Ascend 13-0'd Gambit. Gambit, the reigning champions of Berlin. They dominated everybody on bind. So, what went wrong? Well, for starters, Gambit are playing defense side here. So, on the defense side at Berlin, they had pretty good like 3A setups, 2B, where early round Nats's utility is very difficult to get through. So there's like walls like this. You've got walls like where the fuck is the other one? Like this. You've got Redgar's setup as well, where he double smokes here. Does that a lot. And sometimes plays inside this first smoke that he pops. Makes it very difficult for you to be able to boombot him out of there because he's got smokes to be able to play around that he can break them early. And you can't really peek him. So the Gambit defensive setup, just in general, is pretty good at repelling early round kind of stuff. And then what else was pretty pivotal to their defensive halves? I can't remember. I'd have to rewatch the games. Yeah, and then defo AWPing. Obviously, in this game, though, they probably don't have a single opportunity to AWP. So Redgar's just holding them off in hookah at the moment. And this delay has allowed them to now get 3 to B, which is the crux of why Gambit are one of the only teams that doesn't start 3B. Or at least weren't. Most other teams will start 3B to A. And try and rotate back over to A. They usually do things the opposite way around. So drone, I mean, they've got great information on A right now. They know there's nobody coming short. They know there's nobody coming showers. Defo's in a pretty decent position if they teleport. Shadow's the only player on site right now, though. Oh, wow. So Zeke got walled up there. Zeke got put on the wall. And they're just fighting hookah. They've got like 2 players, one high, one low, both fighting Nats. I mean, Zeke could not be less worried about somebody in elbow right now. Wow, that's really odd as well, because they Viper wall elbow. They Viper wall elbow, but then they boost him up. I'm not even sure whether that boost is intentional. I don't know. But, I mean, it worked incredibly well. This round really got crushed just as soon as Nats got hit with the one high, one low peak on the wall. Okay. Defo's picked up Marshall. Don't think I've seen them do this wall before. Nats just spammed, trying to showers crunch a little bit, but the showers players have not actually caught any info. That was a really weird round. I mean, they do know that there's a sky somewhere around in that area. I mean, they are expecting a push through that smoke. I think they're expecting them actually to be pushing the players at B main. Okay, they got completely eaten up there. Defo was like wiggling his crosshair around all over the place. Have I watched the new episode of Wheel of Time? Yeah. I posted on Twitter about it. I'm not going to talk about any spoilers, but I thought it was shite. I thought the first 3, okay. Okay. Fourth? Oh my god, what the fuck are they doing?
Shoot there, but the readjust there from Defo will find Starzo as he creeps through pipes. ACEND. Yep, 3 weapons saved across it, so good opportunity for him together. It's not as if it's
Okay, so
down and trying to close the distance here. There's still the opportunity.
first rifle round for Gambit. What have we got here then? So we've got their pistol round wall. Probably Viper smoke here. This is Redgar putting down this smoke, I think, just as a fake. It might even just be a recalled smoke. This with a flash, possibly, or just a fake. Again, these two could both be recalls, or they might be planning to do something with them. Hard to say. And Defo doesn't have enough money for an op, right? He's just got a rifle. But I think he's just holding this. I'm going to dash away after he makes contact. Yeah, he's got a Vandal. Yeah, okay. So they recall both of those smokes that I said were recall smokes. They've got the Viper smoke there as well. That's another thing that they do to try and hold hookah control, is that they often they have like 3 smokes that they can use at hookah. Right, so they have like Redgar's one here. Redgar double stars it a lot of the time, and if it's going to be a fast push, he can turn this one into a suck. But if it's a slow round, he can turn it into a smoke as well. And that way you have that smoke, the other Astra smoke, and you've got the Viper smoke there as well. So it becomes very difficult to just take hookah control against Gambit. And they've flashed for a bit of info. Defo's taken first contact on A short. Looks like he's trying to fight again, though. That was just Keyless spamming, but I don't really like that Defo was trying to push anyway. Defo was trying to get into Cubby, and I don't think that's a good idea. They haven't really got any information that there's players towards B. They know they're defaulting. They got a kill short. They got a boombot up sand, and they heard a flash catch somebody long. Oh, Redgar knows they're close here. Ugh, that's a whiff. Redgar does enjoy playing close there, so that's not something that they don't often do. Or rather, that was a weird way of saying that, but that is something that he often does. And this, I think, I mean, it's a 3v3, but it just looks horrendous for Gambit to try and retake. That actually makes it easier, if anything, for them to retake. They don't have the Sova utility, but a 2v2 I think is nicer when you have the Sky. I don't think that flash went in the right place. I think Nats was trying to spring out of the smoke there after a flash, but the flash popped inside the smoke. I don't think he intended to flash inside the smoke. When you said WOT, I thought you meant World of Tanks, no Kisler. Horrendous. No, not World of Tanks. The only person I know that has ever been involved in World of Tanks is Mitch Uber Leslie. Didn't they allegedly spend like $10 million an episode on that show? If so, where did it go? I mean, I don't think it's badly like shot. I don't think the CGI is that bad. I mean, the CGI is a choice, right? Like, it's a stylistic choice, but the scenery and stuff is pretty beautiful. I just think the plot decisions they made were horrendous this episode. Feels very cheap to me. Yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't feel as cheap as some of the other pretty expensive shows, though. Did you watch, like, his Dark Materials? That felt extremely cheap to me. Like, way cheaper than Wheel of Time. I mean, it probably was, but... It reminds me of Xena Warrior Princess or Hercules. What? Okay, I mean, that's a different level, Drew. That's bizarre. I'm just going to skip this forwards because this is an eco round for Gambit. I mean, it's eventually gonna fall, I think, unless Nats can kill one and do some magic with the rifle he picks up. Is Nats still going for a bunch of swoop peeking? That's what I'm interested in. Well, that's a nasty little Viper's Pit. Doing the Nats Pit against Nats. And Gambit are coming through long. I mean, Redgar's just face checking this because he has. What the fuck?
He's in so much a weird position now. He's going to be traded. And his kill is to find Nats. You can hear the shotgun.
I mean, Shados could definitely win this.
Time is everything. Shados gives in an attempt.
He does.
And he actually gets it. Don't know how much time he'd have on this one, and he won. Time is everything. Shados gives in an attempt. And he actually gets it.
He could have won that if he knew where the spike was planted and ran there immediately. It was very tight, though.
Don't know how much time he'd have on this one, and seems though he's going to back away from it.
There's a chance there if it is inside tube where he does just about have enough, I think. Fourth on the board for ACEND.
Knowing this is a 13-0 is like dramatic irony every time Gambit looks like they're in a good position. Yeah. I mean, that really shouldn't have been a round that they had a chance of winning, though. You know, the pistol round... The pistol round was a heavy B long push, and Nats got boomed inside hookah, and then falls to pieces from there. The third round is Defo over pushing short, just kind of opens the door for an ACEND push down it. But they've really only lost 2 rounds at this point. I mean, they've literally lost 4, but there's only 2 that are important. So Redgar's got the judge. Redgar could have bought a rifle, by the way. He had 1,050, which is exactly how much more a rifle is. Literally, he could have had 0 credits in it. What? So they recon... So they're dogging B long, which makes a lot of sense. Defo is also pushing down short. And they have 3 players on A. Which seems a little strange to me. No, it's not strange. What am I talking about? That's what Gambit do. Okay, sorry. But okay, so they recon dart market. This is like a proper short push. They've recon darted here to clear this area out so that Defo can push up short. This might be a specific thing against ACEND because they only have 1 initiator, so they're not anticipating them playing like spread defaults. They think they're going to be playing heavy sand and B long. Because this boombot is broken. It's not broken as early as it sometimes is. Slow recon, slow nade.
Comfortable, but actually somehow Zeke turns that, and neither of those they're through for now. But it's Redgar this time. But they've heard a rifle, so I mean.
Ah, and the dog also stunned Nats. The dog got all the way up here, and it stunned Nats, and so they tried to go for a dog stun into a Brimalt, because they think Nats is going to be going back this way. So they Brimalt the whole of this area. And now they're pretty confident they know where these 2 players are from Gambit at the beginning. I mean, they've killed Redgar. How the fuck, though, does Zeke kill Redgar there? And they're so confident scaling into the site because they don't expect a 3rd player to be here. And there isn't. They're right. I mean, they are crushing this Gambit setup. Zeke killing Redgar's a pretty huge part of that too, though.
Gambit, I gotta say, probably considering the save here. All going up, that's gonna seal the deal.
More time, it's just nothing.
But this is a little bit actually of what I'm concerned about for champions is that people know how Gambit like to play so much. They are the most studied team in the last 3 months. I mean, one could argue Sentinels, but certainly after post-Berlin, they're the most studied team. People know what their setups look like. And it's not like Gambit are doing anything really different. I guess the short push is pretty different. I don't remember Defo pushing short as much as he has been. But the hookah hold is normally really good from Gambit, and ACEND are cracking it open with ease. What's up, Tokyo Down? What's up? Liquid lock for champions. I mean, as long as they don't choke like they did at Reykjavik. All right, so we've got different Viper Wall going down. This Viper Wall is impossible to throw from B. And you see it pretty quickly in the round. Oh, he's going to immediately teleport. What an interesting setup. Okay, so this round, they're going to have 3B to start. So an adjustment there. B has been getting hammered, right? This has been the area of the map that ACEND has been focusing on the most. So they're going to put some focus there. They got Defo with an AWP. Usually the AWP would sit B long, I would say, in this instance. Showers has not been having much action, but like normally, I feel like Defo would be AWPing B long here. But there's been so much attention Sand that they've got a little play they want to make here. So they've got a fake smoke down, which is just designed to look the same as usual. But then they've got this Viper Wall. Nats goes through the teleport. This might even incentivize them to go back to A, where they have the Astra waiting. But anyway, in theory, they have this wall for Nats to be able to cross later on. But he's just there to try and break Boombot and allow Defo to get this kill. Like, literally, Nat's job is to take teleport and break Boombot. And then continue to support Defo. That nade is so smart, though, from Zeke, too, because who uses nade to push them off the angle? And then the Viper's pick comes down as well. I didn't think they'd be committing this. I mean, this is new. I don't think they've done this play before. This is interesting. So ACEND want to try and fast hit A here, and now Defo's already rotated. Chronicle 1-for-1. This is still looking pretty decent. Okay, Defo hits the shot. Shados played in, but didn't get the kill for whatever reason. Brim Molly good there at being able to stop anybody pushing from lamps. CNED with another kill as well onto Defo. Oh, and Zeke is looking for the flank from Nats too. This is so well played by ACEND, man.
49 HP. Yes, he's got the rifle now, but again, CNED, got to be careful here. Shadows can get him.
I thought I might look at this game. My ideas about this game just by looking at the scoreline and looking at how Gambit had played in the rest of the tournament was that probably they were just doing some aggressive stuff around Defo again and it didn't work. Which, to some degree, I think that's true. We've seen Defo posted short, Defo push short with Recon, Defo op Sand. Those are not things that Gambit would normally go for, but the way in which they're supporting him is still good, and ACEND are outplaying the shit out of them. When was this game played? Really recently. Yeah, after LCQ. This game was played like 2 weeks ago? Something like that. So Gambit have taken a timeout here. What does their Okay, they're on a half buy round. I think Gambit's normal defense is so much around hookah control. But I think you need to start giving ACEND hookah. They're beating you every time you try and fight for it. You either need to give them hookah or sand crunch with defo rifling, right? Those are your two options, I think. You can't continue to fight for hookah. ACEND are outplaying you. You've brought out the big guns, and they just rotate to a different site and again outplay you there. But you got a couple of options. I think some of your options are playing heavy octagon, right? And playing heavy for like B long. You know that they've been sending 2 or 3 players sand most of the rounds where they're trying to fight you really heavy. You could keep only Redgar in hookah, where you're just playing around, like you're making judge noises, and you're literally all you have to do is make the noise, and you're playing and you're just like popping the smokes and stuff. They're going to use a huge amount of utility to take hookah control, and you're going to trade it for like 2 Astro Stars. Maybe not even. Maybe just 1 if you just smoke early. And like maybe if you like recall and suck, something like that. And then if you have Defo and Shados play B, and Redgar then drops out of hookah and sits under hookah, so you've got 2 octagon and you've got 1 under hookah. I think that could probably work. And again, you've still only got 2 on A, but that could be an option. Or maybe you have Nats fight B long with Shados and Defo stays on A. I don't know. But it doesn't really matter what your allocation of people is, I don't think. I think Nats probably has a setup on A that would be perfectly fine for this. The other option would be to do some kind of sand crunch where you... they don't have enough... maybe they do have enough money to op, actually. They might go like op... yeah. If you had like... but then the op... I don't know. You could set up a sand crunch, so if like Redgar smoked here, just like a really basic one. If Redgar smokes at the top of short, and maybe you like recon back short, so they think you could be pushing up. And if these players in hookah hear a lot of people in sand, you go through with dog and stun, or with the flash. I think you could try that if they have a sand crunch prepped. You could pop through with Seekers and Flash as well, actually, this round. Oh, not this round, next round. Actually, you could sand crunch this round, too. Wow, this round... Oh, wow. Keyless again. What the fuck? I think this is the best series I've seen from Keyless. I don't know what his stats were at the end of it, but he's had more impact in this game than I've seen from him in months. Obviously, that's an eco round, but just the fact that he doesn't get overwhelmed and he gets all of them, doesn't give them a rifle. He's just been good for it. And then on split as well, he was finding so many good, big rounds. All right, so this is the... Whoa. Bring this back. So Defo's opping again. They have 3B, and they're not playing hookah. So this is pretty similar to what I suggested, actually. It's not exactly the same, because Defo and Chronicle are playing together instead of Defo and Shados, but it's pretty fucking similar. And Shados still has his dog to be able to come through. I mean, in theory, Shados could actually still teleport if he uses Seekers, and he thinks it's a good idea. That would be an option for him, probably in like a post-plant scenario, though, because they're not playing to crunch on sand. But, yeah. I think Redgar's going to have to fake some presence towards hookah, though. Why? Oh my god. Defo is so close, though. I don't really know why Defo wants to push so much there. Even if you think there's only one player, if you thought there was only one player there, it would be this guy with the dog, and you're probably going to have to break the dog anyway. You could have the rifle player break the dog and still be posted. ACEND are just so fast, though. They're just instantly in there. Oh, my God, Shados. Oh, my God. Yeah, I remember this round.
Almost 2 kills from Shados.
Actual VAC level shit. How do they lose this 2v4, man? Or 4v2, rather.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, Stars have just rolled them. You just Astro walled off a Sky. Yeah, that's... It's just too good from Zeke. It's just too good. It's just too good.
That was absolute filth from
ACEND are on fire.
Still somehow.
Still lost.
I mean, they removed the one.
More nothing makes sense. ACEND are down to 2. 3 players on the playback in.
This stun just disappears by the time they're ready to push.
That was disgusting.
For what reason, I don't know.
I don't understand anymore. Nothing makes sense. ACEND are down to 2. 3 players on the playback.
Yeah, the timing just doesn't work. I mean, they stunned early as they went all the way through lamps. And it just runs out exactly in time.
What is going on, Hyper? What are these rounds?
And Shados is too fast as well. Only a little bit, but I think Shados thinks the guy's stunned.
Absolute filth from Shados.
Because Redguard dies to a headshot, I think Shados is trying to be fast to follow up on the stun, but they're already too slow by the time they get there. Tragic. Did Nats get team flashed? No, that was from Starzo, wasn't it?
And now Chronic. Nothing makes sense.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, it's Starzo. Starzo flashes through.
I don't understand anymore. Nothing makes sense. ACEND are down to.
Yeah, that's brutal, actually. I definitely think Gambit are doing some new things on this map, but not enough new things that they should be getting 8-0'd. Looking kind of shaky.
Fair enough.
All right, Defo just peeks and gets the kill.
And it looks like Gambit have.
Again, another 5v3 advantage, and they're not going to close it out.
I think first blood into a second here. ACEND now pile on the pressure, trying to swing through. Starzo.
Not really the kind of weapon that you can swing with and guarantee the kill by any means.
Feeling themselves. The Hunter Fury actually gets invested here.
They could just go back to teleport here. I don't know whether that... Oh, that would have been an insta-kill.
In combination there, that could have been deadly.
Yeah, Bone Cod, lucky boy.
Look at Gambit. They're literally herded into spawn.
Starzo.
If Starzo flashes through this... Oh, and they're Brim ulting.
Pop flash, and away we go.
God, that is so well played with the Brim ult.
Starzo can back away from that. He's done everything he needed.
And people are doubting the Brim
More
pick.
time, more options removed, a little bit more damage. One enemy remaining. He's in the Bone Cod now to try and find the last. Starzo.
2 other great kills as well from Killis.
This is
ACEND are absolutely dismantling them. Dismantling their defense side.
Oh, there's nothing. They've had a timeout and they've come up with absolutely nothing.
a 3v5.
Either way, Gambit will be ready for Champions. There's a reason they won Masters. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not doubting Gambit. I think
Defo with that off.
they're the safest team to go deep in the tournament.
ACEND are able to cycle their ultimates so effectively in these rounds.
A very safe bet to go deep in the tournament.
3 and 3 right now. Barely even called a
But I don't think
yeah, it's
they were dicking around.
ACEND are literally bodying Gambit.
I think they were trying some new shit. Wow, and Zeke is up top here. I think the Blast Pack should be a cue here for Defo to think about this.
Top end.
It doesn't look like it's gone through Defo's mind, though. But why else would someone be using a Blast Pack in sand? He had an idea. Again, another 5v3 that ACEND are going to win. ACEND have res.
Dragged out of their hands, but right place, right time for Gambit. Plenty of players on the site.
Oh, well, no, Seaden's actually going to get this res on Sand. It looks like he's headed that direction. So we'll come back to potentially a 4v5 in favour of Gambit.
There's no adjustment here from Gambit anticipating this res. Although, I suppose either player could get resed. They could go for the res in Octagon too, but the res in Octagon is so open to someone swinging backside.
Maybe leaving it late enough that they don't know that this hit's coming through.
This lurk could be gorgeous from Keyless as well. Because I think someone's going to go through this teleporter.
Still has to
Wait, are they not? Oh my god, Keyless gets that. I swear this is the best match from Keyless that he's played in months. He gets another on Nats. Bro, Keyless has not played this well in a long time. Good trade from Bone Cold as well. I really thought they would play for Reds there, actually. They just valued... They valued denying info, I guess, more so than anything. Keyless gets that ping because they're 10 ping against 60 ping Gambit. According to what? What do you mean? Where have you got that from?
It's just...
Have you ever heard the phrase put a fork in it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of wild to consider, actually.
Is that just how the servers work in Europe? There aren't any that are kind of Eastern that are balanced between these two teams?
This is madness.
I can believe that.
ACEND play that so slowly.
Nats is getting annihilated on defense. They haven't been able to hold anything. Doesn't it say ping in the tab? No. No.
Doesn't just throw it in the winds. Keyless does everything he can to sell that
Defo knows Zeke had to drop in order to peek him.
just at the right
Yeah, but yeah, I guess he was aware. I thought he hadn't looked at it because I thought he was... when he crept out into the angle, he wasn't looking upwards. He flicked upwards. So I don't really think he was aware.
Gambit was a kill. I mean, this is just...
The first man went to overtime.
The scoreboard has ping? No, it doesn't. Oh, it does! I mean, they're not on 60. What's the average ping with that team? Like 40, 45? But I mean, yeah, there is a bit of a ping difference there. It's like a 30 millisecond difference. 35 if you're being generous. More like 30 on average, so Nats drags it up a bit.
This is mad.
But I think specifically for like Keyless dueling Shados in lamps there, the ping does probably make a difference. But the overall way that Ascend are playing is still pretty excellent.
It's just...
And like most of the aim duels are not really...
Have you ever heard the phrase put a fork in it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, this is...
Not really based on that. It's more based on how they're...
maybe on the brink of a...
the timing of what they're doing.
Against Gambit.
Yes.
Against Gambit.
On their defensive half.
But yeah, specifically in that instance where Shados is holding an off angle in lamps, yeah, I agree. That's probably ping has something to do with that.
And again, Ascend play that so slowly.
But Keyless is also just feeling himself. He's 14 and 6, and the guy normally doesn't put up anywhere near these numbers. So I think the guy's just fucking popping off.
To sell that fake. Unfortunately, I think Redgar finds the kill just at the right time.
What is this? Where were you when Gambit was a kill? I mean,
Like in that situation,
The kill.
it looks like CNED has better reactions or whatever, or maybe better ping or something, but it's not really that. It's that CNED knows where Defo's playing from, or at least suspects it. The pre-aiming is just so much better. Like that's always going to be the difference maker in that. Doesn't really matter 30 millisecond of ping, you know? Like those kind of instances are just Ascend having a great read on how Gambit play.
when Gambit was a kill. I mean, this
All of these common things that Gambit do on this map, like their heavy hookah control,
Neck and neck.
the defo opping positions,
I didn't get this version of the script, if I'm honest. I don't know. Is there
they've
a
all
version
just been
that we missed out on?
annihilated.
Meeting, we didn't get
What
an
else?
updated version.
The lack of presence be long got abused by the Skydog.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Whew.
Didn't do any
They're playing
of the
well.
qualifiers. Got away with that one. He's getting away with daylight robbery. Yeah, it's just shame.
All of these Red Bull quarterfinals games are listed as BO5s, but there were only 2 games played. It was a weird format in Red Bull where there was no bans. Each team just picked their map to start it out. And if one team won 2-0, it finished. Like the idea, it's kind of like a gimmicky format, but it's pretty cool. The idea is someone picks a home ground, and if you beat your opponent on their home ground and you win your own, like if you win both of the home grounds, you just win the match. You don't even play the rest. But if the first two maps were 1-1, even if you both traded each other's maps, then it continues into a full BO5. It's a wacky format, but it's pretty interesting actually.
Pretty much. And yeah, you can say, you know, maybe they don't want to give too much
They're being
away.
outclassed.
Exactly. It's all encompassing. Now the double stack on long is actually going to push down, but they are going to be noted. Gun out now. They're still going to gun them down. Shoulder peeks it and just
It's just
to the grave.
really fucking good.
This is 12-0. This is going to be 12-0.
This is
They are babooming them.
Redgar will find Starzo drifting forwards. The Cosmic Divide invested, so will slow Ascend down, but almost like a
Their counter plans are a little desperate though.
hit B site.
At that round, the
Reset.
play towards B long,
Try and potentially
they know that there's been a dog there pretty much every single round.
Defo makes his way back towards Pipe.
Starzo's been dogging that maybe 11 out of 11 rounds prior to this. There's probably been a couple where he didn't, but
Cautious.
most of them, there's been a dog going up B main early round, and they didn't have a plan to deal with it. I mean, they smoked and stood inside the smoke, so they literally couldn't kill the dog before he hit them.
Back on his feet.
I think they're just mentally out of it at this point, too.
Chronicle knows that is now the next pressure point. He knows it's still going to
Did Zeke just bounce off the fucking skybox or something?
On his feet.
Look at Zeke's movement here.
Chronicle knows that is now the next pressure.
Maybe not. I don't know. That looked like he bounced off the skybox for a second.
Does spot one, maybe 11-1. Maybe
Read Filterist's chat message. It's wholesome as fuck. Yo, my nan's my Middlesbrough. My nan's my Middlesbrough? My nan's from, I assume, Middlesbrough, and heard your accent. She asked me what your name was. She hasn't lived in England for 50 years. I might have known his father. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. She hasn't lived in England for 50 years. No, actually, there's no shot she knows my dad. I mean, if that was supposed to be a dig at my age, it was genuinely feasible. My dad's fucking old. How old's my dad? God, why can't I do this basic mental arithmetic? He is... I think he's 69, but he might be 68. Why can't I do this math? See, I didn't want to say 69 because then you all spam nice. Exactly. Exactly. But if he was born in 1952, and he's already had his birthday this year, that makes him 69, right? Yeah. So, he's... God, he's old. My dad does not... Anyway, it's unlikely your grandma knows my dad. It's very unlikely. Also, dude, my nan is just fucking crazy. One of them I've drank every day for like 70 years types. I don't think my dad was in Middlesbrough when he was 19. He was at Liverpool University. So, don't think so. I think Liverpool, but I don't know.
1v2 now. Defo, yeah. Not an easy scenario, and it's going to be a 12-0 on the half.
Wow.
0.
That was a thorough boomening. An absolute boomening. Chat, who do you think the best team in the world is at Bind?
I thought Harry Bow and Jay would be above that sort of behavior. Apparently not. I mean, Brimstone is... Oof.
He has no right.
Because I think it's Ascend.
12-0 is 0, right?
Not from this match, but I mean just like genuinely, I was thinking about that.
Would be, if anything,
Not looking good.
I think it is Ascend.
swan song, if anything, as there's now 2 of them alive.
Ascend or
I cannot
Liquid?
believe what we've seen at this point.
What the fuck does Liquid do on this map again? Oh, yeah. I remember. They're the Jet Rays with Sova Viper. I don't think Liquid are the best. I think that's unlikely. Unlikely. Possible though. But I'm pretty sure it's ACEND. Best team in the world on bind. But this is a fucking statement map, isn't it? Because I think Gambit are number 2. Vision Strikers probably has a new comp. Maybe. But they've actually never been that good at bind, so... They've always had interesting ideas, but... saying never is just wrong, because back in the day, before people discovered the Fnatic comp, the Viper Sova Sky comp, they probably were one of the best teams at bind. Huh, well, that's a ridiculous map. That is ridiculous. Honestly, the split map, though, was more interesting than the bind map. The bind map was Gambit never able to get started. Gambit was never able to get started. ACEND knew exactly which areas of the map they wanted to play and destroyed them there.